Yes, sir. So, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is ideas of development. This is economic chapter. Okay. So, before starting the chapter, you should understand what you mean by development. What is development exactly? Development is, in fact, development is an idea. Development is an idea. Idea of what? Idea for, it's an individual idea. It can be an individual idea, or it can be a country's idea. Individual idea or country's idea. So here, when you just imagine a situation where suppose a person is here who is doing a good job, but the income, the salary is less. Now, all of a sudden, he will get hike in the salary. Then he will be very happy. Isn't it? Definitely, he will be very happy. So according to him, hike in salary is his development. Suppose a person, an organization is there who that started with a new organization. Okay, so it was working at a small scale, but after some years, this organization it was grown and it has worked at a large scale. So don't you think it's a development for an organization? Yes, it is. So we are going to understand what exactly development, what development to individuals, and how can you see that the development, that means how can a country can be, how can country can be called as a developed country. Now, okay. Now, as you can see the chapter name, Ideas of Development. In this chapter, what are the things we are going to study? This I'll just explain you. Like, first of all, we are going to understand the meaning and purpose of development. Why everybody need development? What is the importance of development? Why people are working for development? Second, we are going to study about income and other goals. It means that only income is sufficient, or a human being wants some more thing, some other thing, some different thing. Then third one, we are going to study about important terms. These are very, very important for 1 mark and for 2 marks questions. Fourth, we are going to see the comparison with different countries. That means how can you say that the country is developed? How can you say the country is undeveloped? Or maybe it's in developing state. So here we are going to compare to give the exact figure how the country can be a developed. How can it be called as a developed country? Then the next is public facilities. What are these public facilities? Are these public facilities important for development, or it is just a given in the notes? Why public facilities? Why we want public facilities? This also we are going to study. And the last one, progress over time. This is very, very important, very, very important for 4 marks. Okay, so here all these things we are going to study. Let us start with our first slide. Yeah. So you can see over here, notion for development goal is different for different people. Right? If a person wants something, it is not necessary that the other person also want the same thing. Like I am working in MS. Now, if I am getting good salary in MS, the other people, they may get good or they may get more facilities. Like if I am working as a teacher, I want development. Like I want to get growth in my career. My ideas, my dream is different. Similarly, other people, everybody, they have different goals. They have different goals. That's why here I wrote notion for development goal is different for different people. What may be development for one may not be development for others. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I'll tell you one small example. Suppose the government wanted to start a dam construction project. Okay, power plant. Okay, so now what government decide? Government says that we want to construct dam because to develop our country, to increase our economy. But don't you think when constructing dams, it give problem to the people who are living over there? Why? Because when you construct a dam, you want more land, and when you want more land, the people, they have to vacate that land. So that construction of dam is benefit for a country, but it is not benefit for people. So here it says that what may be development for one may not be development for others. It may be problem or destruction for other, as I told you. Right now, you can see this image, different people and different goals. Now, here is a person, like he is well educated, but he is unemployed. He is not getting any job. He is well educated, but he is not getting any job. So what development according to him? He wants a job. Okay, that's why he said, I need a job. If he gets job, then he'll be very happy. According to him, that is a development for him. Next, if you ask a girl, what exactly development means to you? The girl will happy and say, I want freedom. I want equal treatment. Isn't it? Definitely, every girl says that, and that we want freedom, we want equal treatment. We girls, we ladies, we women are not less than men. Definitely, we say all these things. Next, if you ask a boy, like a middle class or a high class or whoever boy, what he wants, what development according to him, it can be a luxurious life. Ha ha ha. If he get luxurious life, it means development to him. Similarly, if there is a farmer who is landless, he doesn't have any land, he's working in some other he's working on some other land, or zamidar or some other land. But if he gets land, okay, don't you think it's a benefit for him? It's a development for him. Similarly, if a person has land, but the production was less, he's producing less. That means he's earning less. So what he can think, what idea he can get, I wish I would get good price for produce. Good production, when there's a good production, there should be a good price. According to him, this is a development. Similarly, if you ask a businessman, what businessman? See, businessman, in fact, I can say very intelligent businessman, clever businessman, what he thinks? He wants tax benefit, definitely. The second, more profit, less expense. Okay, he want more profit. Business, when they start a business, will start with the motive of earning more and more profit. So according to just now in the beginning of my lecture, I told you, if a person start a business at a small scale, but after many years, as the years went, then the business was grown, it was expanded. So what happened? He get more income. So here he says that different people have different goals. So if you ask any people over there, if your goal may be different, my goal may be different, or the students, those who are in other classes, their goal may be different, or the people who are working in any outside organization or out of India, their goals are different. Definitely, every person has a different goal. Okay, next, we'll go with the next topic, income and other goal. Now, you can see the picture. A person is sitting and he is enjoying all these benefits. He's thinking, okay, I have a good income. I'm getting respect. Security, job security is there. Okay, family is there. Okay, he has family, friends, learning, equality, everything. Isn't it? So here the topic says the income and other goal. No doubt, it's true that income is the most important thing to survive. No doubt in that. But do you think the income is, only the income is required? A big question mark over there. Let's see. Income is the most important component of development. Besides seeking more income one way or the other, people seek other things like equal treatment, freedom, education, security, respect of others, job, peace, pollution-free environment, all these things. So these are some non-material things. See, money can be considered as a material thing. And security, food, family, even friends, okay, and even respect, freedom, education, security, they all are non-material things. Along with the income, if we get all these things, And respect you will get. Education, mashallah, training is given. Okay, and job peace is there. Pollution free environment. You are working in pollution free environment. So what happened here? Your income. Your income, material thing, and respect, security, environment. These are non-material things. When the income and when the material and non-material things you get, then it is called as a mixed goal. Definitely, we all have to work for the mixed goal. So one example here is given that it is true that in women now. Example, just I'll give you one. See, a woman is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also given importance to women. We cannot deny it. But here the thing is that if a woman start working outside, I'm also a woman. I am working outside. If a woman start working outside, then what happened? The woman, she'll work for the income along with the paid work. She'll get respect. Moreover, that she will be independent, financial independent, and also self-confidence. When a lady, so don't you think if a woman go out and work, she earns self-confidence? Definitely. Well, see, husband is earning and wife is also earning. Don't you think there is an increase in income? Definitely. Definitely. Now, just we'll add some more points over here. When a woman is working, income is getting, family is getting income, no doubt. Apart from that, let's see, if a woman get respect, right? A woman is going out and working and earning, a family member, husband, in-laws, whoever, if a society, if they give respect to that woman, don't you think the environment will be good? There will be more sharing of work. That's true. So when a woman is earning, he is independent, he is she is self-confidence, and at the same time, if the respect is added to her income or to her, it will be a sharing. There would be more sharing of housework. Now we'll add one more criteria on there. Woman, income, respect. If a woman gets security, if a woman gets safe and secure environment, this can be inspiration or motivation for other women. They can come and work outside. Example, we take MS over here. MS, we believe that women are safe in MS because we are having a complete, very protective and secure environment. That's why we women are working over here. So here what happened? Women are getting income. They are financially independent. There was increase in self-confidence, and at the same time, when the respect is given, there will be a more sharing of household work. And the third one, if they give security or secure environment, this will help other women to work outside and work for the family and for the country. Now today many women are working. They are in all field, whether in medicine, whether in transport, whether in teaching field. Everywhere we find women also. So I hope income and other criteria. So we can consider that only income is not enough. It is not sufficient. Okay, apart from income, we want some other things also. Some non-material things are also required. So here it's done. Let's go with the next slide. How to compare different countries or state. In the beginning of my lecture, I told you that we are going to see how. Now, before starting this, I'll just give a small example. We have students, you people are students. So, how can we say that a student is bright or a student is, a gem, okay, who is not so intelligent over there? How can you say that? But by seeing a person, by seeing a boy, can you say that he is bright student? No, not possible. Or by seeing any person, you can say, oh, he's a duller over there, or he's not so bright. You cannot say. So to compare these two students, we have to consider some criteria. There are some indicators. Please understand the concept over here. To compare two people or two objects or two things, there are few criteria. Based on that, we can give our judgment. Based on that, we can compare. So here the student, the height can be color or academic performance, his character, whether he is physically involved in games like physical activities or not. Sometimes you know what happened, a studious person may not be fit, may not be show interest in any sports activity. They don't, these students sometimes, you know, a bright student, they don't want to come and participate in curricular or co-curricular activities. Sometimes the students who are not good at academics, but they are good at physical activities. Okay, so now this was all about individual. One more small example I'll give you. Suppose a person who is coming, who wear a very good dress. He dress up very in a very decent way. He has gel and he has a bike, goggles, and everything over there. Sorry, car. So here, one more time, on another side, if you see a person who is normal, who is on bike, okay, who is very busy, who has normal glasses, and who has small beard. So after, when you see these two people, you will be clearly understand, acha, this person is a very rich one. Why? Because we have seen him in a good dress, in the car, and also going to the 5-star hotel. So based on this, we can judge that this person is very rich. And similarly here, when we see other person, after seeing him, we can say that he is not so, he may be belong to middle class or low class. So here comparison is different. Then when it comes to a country, how can we compare? Country doesn't have any dresses. Country doesn't have any, country cannot communicate over there. Do you think India communicate? Indians can communicate. Okay, so how can we compare? The first thing here we can say that we can compare a country based on income. That's true. That's true. We can say. But again, there will be a problem. Again, there will be a problem. Suppose a country A is here and country B. Acha, why to take AB? Let us take our India. This is India over here. And this is Bangladesh. India has more population. Many people are there. We all are very much familiar with the population of India, isn't it? Here, Bangladesh, example I'm telling you, Bangladesh may have less population. When population, when there is more population, then what happened? Income will be more, isn't it? Bhai, he is earning, he is also earning, he is also earning, like everybody is earning over there. Don't you think the income is increased? And whereas when we see the second country over here, only there is a less population. When there is a less population, there will be less income. Then how can we say that a country is developed or underdeveloped? A big question mark over there. What to do? A big question mark. To answer this question, we are going to calculate, we are going to compare the country based on average. A country with more population, you cannot say it's a rich country. Possibilities are there because of the population is more, that's why they are getting more income. Okay, so to solve the problem, we are using we can use average of the country. This average, another name of average is PCI. What is this PCI? Per capita income. PCI, per capita income, is also called as an average income. I'll write here. PCI is also called as average. Now, after taking this average, it is easy to compare the country. It is easy to give rank to the country. It is easy to give whether the country is developed or underdeveloped. Am I clear? So here, average. Now, one more question has come that, ma'am, how can we find the average income? What is income? First of all, understand what is income. Income is income of all residents of India. How can we calculate income? How can we calculate income of India? We can calculate that when we add all the when we add income of all residents of India, we'll get income, isn't it? But here we are going with average income. How we'll get? There is a formula. What is that formula? PCI So PCI, as I told you, what is PCI? PCI is per capita income. It is nothing but is also called as a average income. Average income. Now how to calculate? There is a formula. Total, what I told you, what is income? How can we calculate income of a country? By adding the income of all residents in India. So total income of a country how I told you that if you add the income of all people in India, you will get total income by total population of a country. So when you see the criteria, when you see how we can compare the countries, whether we can say the developed or the underdeveloped countries, it is possible through PCI. Now, if I'll say, okay, fine, chalo, I found, I calculate India's income is, example, I'm telling you 500. It will be in millions. Okay, and then if we take a Bangladesh, sorry, it cannot be a 500. I'll add some more things over here. It can be 12,400. Next, Bangladesh, it may have 8,400. Or maybe USA, we'll consider USA, it may be some 15,000. This is average income. This average income is in calculating dollars. Always PCI is calculating dollars. So, one country is getting 12,400, one is getting 8,400, the next one is getting 15,000. Then how can we give rank? How can we say that? What is the figure? How can you say that it's a developed and underdeveloped country? One example I'll give you. Suppose a student who is writing exam. The passing marks is, example I'm telling you, passing marks is 40 marks. That means limit is given over here. If a child get less than 40, he can be considered as a fail. Or if a child get more than 40, he can be considered as a pass. Then the same thing we can take here. There is a figure, there is a fixed figure. Okay, the figure is given over there. If a country crosses that figure, then it can be called as a developed or rich country. If a country doesn't cross the figure given, I'll show you, I'll give you the exact figure over there. So then it can be considered as a low income country. Let's see here. For comparing, income is considered, yes, people with more income will have more purchasing power to fulfill their requirement. According to World Development Report brought by the class, it is classified in countries. Now, countries with per capita income US dollar 12,055 and above per annum in 2017 can be considered as a rich or developed country. As I told you just now, I told you the figure that if the child get 40 marks, then he can be considered as a pass. If a child gets less than 40, he can be considered as a fail. Similarly, here figure is given 12,055. If a country crosses, if the country's average income, if the country's PCI is more than 12,055, then it can be considered as a developed country, or it can be considered as a rich country. Next, those countries, those with per capita income less than 995 or less can be considered as a low income. This is according to 2017. The 2017 World Bank given a report where it is said that if a country get more than 12,055, then it can be considered as a rich country, and if a country get less than $995, it can be considered as a low income country or less developed countries. Until less than a decade ago, India came in the category of low-income country. Now it falls under the category of middle-income countries. Alhamdulillah. And very soon, India is going to be one of the developed country, one of the rich country. If the government works properly, with proper positive planning and all, definitely our country can be one of the developed country, because we have many rich people over here. We have Ambani, Tatas, Birla, many people are over here. Okay, so inshallah very soon our country can be considered as one of the developed country. So this was all about how to compare country. I hope you understood the concept. To compare countries, income is very important, but sometimes income may be low or income may be more. Then how can we calculate? How can we say that this is a rich country or this is a poor country? The formula they use, average income. Average income is nothing but per capita income, PCI. It means total income of a country by total population of a country. You will get average income. Based on that, you can give rank to the country. Next, hope it's clear to you. Per capita income or average income, total income of a country by total population. We'll go in the next slide, our next topic. Income and other criteria. This is a very small topic, already we have discussed. Income, see, example I'll give you. Suppose I got a job. Suppose I got a job. I have given interview in 2 areas. Okay, I have given interview in 2 areas. One is given in one school, and second one, example I'm telling you, second one we have given in any call centers. From both the areas, from both the organization, I got a call. So I went and I have given an interview over there. So here what happened, call center is giving more income, more packages more over there. There will be more package in call center. They agree to give more package. At the school, they are giving me less package. So do you think I should go with more package? I am getting more income. It's a good thing. Suppose here I am getting 500 rupees. Here I am getting 1,000 rupees. Definitely this is more. Generally people, they'll say we'll go with a more income. No, this is not the correct. Apart from income, there are other criterias. I have to compare these two things. Okay? I have to see transportation, whether the transportation is easily available or not. I can go with a distance, whether it's a far distance or not, or I can go with respect is there in organization. Boss is there. Boss may give more advantage to maybe the girls over there. Okay, so some colleagues, they may not give respect to the people, to the ladies over there. Possibilities are there. So do you think I can work in that way? I am not getting any respect. The second one is, any security is there or not? If a boss is happy, then I'll get promotion over there. If the boss is not happy, then they may fire me. Definitely, possibilities are there. So I should see whether security is there or not. And most probably, I'll go with environment. How is the environment over there? How is the environment, whether discrimination is over there or not, whether high class people, they use some alcohol and all those things, there'll be free environment, or there will be a hijab, or there will be a parda and a pollution free environment. So what I do that, I'll go with all these things. I'll compare. In call center, do I get all these things? Or in schools, do I get? So based on, apart from income, I will go with non-material things. Suppose all these things are available in school, salary is less. All these things are not in this call center, salary is more. Then what I can do, I can opt for schools. Because as I told you in my beginning lecture, income is not only criteria to live, to survive. apart from income, we want respect also, we want equal treatment also, we want growth also, we want a good environment also. Okay, so here it says that here it says that income and other criteria. Security is there or not? Definitely. Respect for others, equal treatment, freedom, no gender bias, education, infant mortality rate, and life expectancy at birth. What do you mean by infant mortality rate? A big question over there. Infant mortality rate means children who die before 1 year. Out of 1,000 children, newborn who died within 1 year, before 1 year, before they reached 1 year. Example here it happened, I don't know present it's there or not, but somewhere, some villages still they continue that they don't want girls. They don't want baby girls. If they find that the baby girl is there, then they'll go for termination. They'll go for abortion. Definitely. Or sometimes, you know what happened, if the baby girl or if any boy or any baby born, they'll throw in any dustbin or somewhere. So what happened? Because of all this thing, there will be high death rate of children. It's a very bad thing. So here, infant mortality rate can also be considered as and life expectancy at birth. Okay. These are some other income and other, these are the income and other criteria. Hope you understood that. Coming to our next one, public facilities. Now here it says, if I'm not getting facilities, if a country is not having facilities, no roads, no proper roads, no dams, no proper maintenance of dams, they don't have any dams, they don't have any bridges, unemployment is there, transport system is weak, communication system is weak, no street lights available, no proper transportation is there, then what happened? Do you think the country can be developed? No. We cannot say that the country is developed country. They should have all these things. They should have proper. That's why our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he came up with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan that he is going with, and many of our Bollywood actors, they also focused on toilets, to construct toilets, to make toilets at homes. So here, you know what happened, these public facilities are also very, very important, whether PDS is there or not, medical facilities are there or not. Suppose take example of COVID, the present trend. Okay, it's we can say welcome trend, we cannot say welcome trend, it's a trend that COVID is going on. So suppose a country who don't have the facilities over here, they don't have ventilation, they don't have proper vaccination, they don't have any proper environment over there, then do you think the government is giving facilities to? No, government is not giving it. So here the government should work for the medical facilities, proper injections, proper vaccinations will be given, BCG at the time of birth, and measles, chicken pox, okay, all these diseases, Ritina. So all these diseases can be cured if you get good facilities. A patient is dying there but no ventilation, ventilator is not there, then definitely the person may die, possibilities are there. So we can say that the public facilities are also important for the development of a country or of a state or of a district. Definitely it is. So I hope it's clear, income and other criteria and public facilities. We'll go with the next one. Very, very, very important for 4 marks. Very important, I'm telling you. This is our last topic. Okay, development progress over time. What does it mean? Do you think that development is possible in 1 day, or in a 1 week, or in a 1 month? Development takes years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Then only it is possible. Then only we can see. See, MS started with a small institution, the tuition centers. But now, after 25 years, Alhamdulillah, MS is a big empire, I can say that. How? So, these, the growth is just for that the people, the management worked only for 1 day, or they worked only for 1 week or 1 month or 1 year. No, they worked hard for many years. They have given sacrifice and all that. That's why we have a big platform over here. Similarly, here development is not possible with 1 day or 1 week or 1 month. It takes time. Let's see over here. Some countries are ahead of other terms of human development indicators. Definitely, if you see India, acha chalo fine, China and India. Don't you think China has a very good infrastructure facilities when we compare to our India? So every country they have few other indicators over there. So some countries are ahead of other terms of human development indicators. Second one, similarly, some state have better indicator of human development, though within a state there may be variation. So there may be variation, differences among countries or within a country. If you take example of Kerala, Kerala can be considered as one of the most literate state where the literacy rate is more. In fact, the highest literacy rate is in Kerala. We know that. But what about the countries like, what about the states like Bihar? What about the states like Telangana? What about the states like Andhra Pradesh or any other states? So here, there will be a different, there will be a comparison within a state, and also they may have district also. Hyderabad is a district. Hyderabad is a IT hub. Many developed cities are here, many developed cities are here, many IT companies are here, many construction companies are here. Whereas if you take any other district, Nirmal if you take, or Nizamabad if you take, or Adilabad if you take, any other district you take, don't you think that Hyderabad is more developed than these states? Yes, sorry, this district. So yes, this is true that every country there are some variation, in every state there are some variation, in every district there are some variation. So one such example here is Himachal Pradesh. We are going to see how Himachal government worked hard for development in their state. See, our state is also working hard. They are also working for the progress of Telangana, definitely. Inshallah, very soon we'll also reach to that level. But right now, let us see about how Himachal work for the development. You know what happened at the time of independence? Like most other states, Himachal Pradesh was also a very, a low level education were there. Definitely, because of the orthodox feeling there, because of the that women were not allowed out, and that maybe distance were there. Maybe if the girl want to go for education, go to school, maybe security is not there. Maybe something happened in between there. So all these things, all these criteria were there overall India, prevail overall India. So now let's see how Himachal Pradesh worked hard and finally reached to that state, reached to that level. It is very close to Kerala. Let's see over here. Being a hilly region with low density of population, many village spreads of school, particularly in rural areas, appear to be a big challenge to Himachal government. See, if you want to develop, or if you want growth, you have to work. You have to sacrifice. Similarly, to develop a state, or to develop a district, or to develop a country, it is a duty of government to look into that. In fact, to work for the betterment of the state. Okay, let's see over here. So here, you know what happened? Not only Himachal government, after many years, after almost, it was started in 96 and in 2000, almost 20 years. It has taken more than 15 years to bring development in Himachal Pradesh. So here, to bring development in Himachal Pradesh, government as well as people of states, they contributed. See, it not only our government is doing, but we also want to get development. So here, government plus people, they all can, if they both come together, and they can work for development. So let's see more about it. You know what happened? A survey is done in the year 96. A survey is done in the year 1996. So, you know, as I told you, at the time of independence, Himachal government was also can be considered low-level state. But you know what happened? Himachal government worked for the development. How it worked for the development? The first thing, they started schools. In the beginning, Himachal government opened, they had only few schools. Okay, only few schools were there. In that school, there were maybe no facilities, no proper facilities. There may be no different branches, or there may be no, they don't have any different toilets for boys and girls. They maybe don't, they don't have qualified teachers. They don't have quality education. All these things were there. They don't have transport facility, and schools are far from their home. So many parents, they were very much worried, if we send our children to the school which is far, maybe something happened to them. For this, with this, all these things, people, they don't want to send their children to go to school at a far distance. So what government has done? They opened many schools, nearby schools. Where the government opened schools, initial stage, I'm telling you, they have opened scale with few facilities. But as the year passes, okay, as the year went, so what happened? Many schools were opened. In fact, proper facilities were given. Now, what is this facility in schools? I'll show you. Earlier, no security for girls, schools at a far distance, no facilities, toilets, water and transport. No, they don't have any toilet facilities. Boys and girls, they have to go in one toilet. But let's see afterwards what happened. Poor connectivity, less qualified teachers, more expensive, and low employment and less income. People, they don't have less, they have less income. That's why in the school they are charging more, and they don't want to send their children to school. When government got all these ideas, in these areas we have to work, and Himachal government had done that thing. So after started a development program, these are the result of in Himachal Pradesh. What result? Students, they started, they love to go to schools. And teachers in a very, they got qualified teachers. The quality education was there. Teachers, they love their profession. Okay, so teachers, they work for passion. Students, they come to school with enthusiastic, okay, with a great interest, with a great every day. So many people, they started, especially small children, they started coming to school. So what happened? Here, enrollment increased. Interest, people, they gain interest. Students, they gain interest. So one small question was asked to a standard boy, child, that why, how do you think, what is your idea of what school? So that boy said that I love to go to school and I love my teacher. They'll explain in a better way. So here, you know what happened? Many schools were open, qualified teachers slowly. That's why I told you in the beginning of my career in the beginning of my lecture, that government development is possible only if you work continuously for many years. Adequate facilities were given. Toilets were not there. But now, separate toilets for boys and separate toilets for girls. Separate block for boys and separate block for girls. Definitely. Then proper connectivity were there, more enrollment. As I told you, students, they love to go to school now because schools are near. Even parents are happy. Earlier, they thought that school is far. How can we send our children over there? But now when the school come near to their home, okay, so students, what they love to go to school. Parents who are interested to send their children to school. Okay, in that way, there is a more enrollment of students. Definitely increases teacher-student ratio. Students with a big dream. So the question was asked to a small boy, what you want to become? So that small boy, he said he wanted to become a teacher. So here, you know what happened when the students are coming to schools, they are getting more dreams. In fact, big and bigger dreams. Some, they want to become a scientist. Some, they want to become teachers, engineers, policemen, army. So what happened here? Because of all this government, people started, and students, they started dreaming the big one. Next, no gender bias. Yes, definitely. In many states, still today, we have gender bias. Definitely, we have gender bias. Gender bias means discrimination, differences between male and female. That the boys are given importance, girls are not given importance. This can be a, so in Himachal Pradesh, earlier there was a discrimination, but present they don't have discrimination. Boys, girls were treated equally to boys. Earlier, if the baby girl born, She was thrown or she was murdered, she was killed, whatever. But now what happened? The infant mortality rate is decreased over there. Girls, they are surviving. They are they are going to schools and they are learning. So they don't have any gender bias. Women became independent. As I told you that in Himachal Pradesh, women, they went outside, they are working outside and they are earning. Hence they became independent. They gained self-confidence. Okay, so when women became independent, involvement of women in social and political life, slowly, you know what happened? Women, they started entering in society, any issues in the society or political life, they started engage in social and political activities. So many active Mahila mandals were there and all those things. So the survey said that it is clear that when the survey was done, okay, school done in 19 and repeated in 2006, the survey noted that these were the previous condition and these are the new things. So I hope it's clearly to you. So let us do a quick recap what we have studied. We have seen development is different for different people. Every person, they have a different goals. And we have seen income and other goals. Not only income is not only needed, it is not only sufficient. That means material thing, along with material thing, non-material thing is also very important. And we have seen how can we compare the countries using average income, per capita income, total income of a country by total population. And after that, we have seen other criteria also. Apart from income, what all the things people require. We have seen many examples over there. And we have seen the public facilities over there. Okay, what public facilities do the government should give? Next, it comes development progress over time. How Himachal government from a low level, see, Himachal, it has a many hurdles, I can say. It is an hilly region, definitely. Population is less, definitely. They don't have all facilities, proper facilities, transport facilities not there, and electricity, more facilities are not there. We agree. But despite of having all these criteria, all these challenges, all these hurdles, still Himachal government had done a very good work. And the tape passes. Himachal, as I told you, Himachal Pradesh is coming close to Kerala in literacy. Okay, and we have seen all these things. With this, I would like to conclude, and Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khaira. Inshallah, next class we will see. Allah Hafiz.